This episode of the Rob's Podcast with Maddie West is brought to you by Gold Tree Realty. If you are looking to buy or sell your home, you definitely want to talk to our friends at Gold Tree Realty. With Gold Tree Realty, you'll be dealing with experienced real estate agents and investors. They can handle sellers in any condition, so if your property is ready to go with no repairs needed, or if it needs a little TLC, Gold Tree Realty can get you that sold sign on your lawn, sometimes even with a cash offer in as fast as 72 hours. And if you're looking to buy a house, Gold Tree Realty specializes in helping buyers find their dream home. Give Andrew, Jason, or any of the experienced and knowledgeable members of the Gold Tree Realty team a chance to help you buy or sell your next home in the Evansville area. Call 812-432-2556 or like them on Facebook, facebook.com/Gold Tree Realty. Once again, that's Gold Tree Realty, 812-432-2556. And of course, if you'd like to advertise on the Rob's Podcast with Maddie West, please email the Rob's Podcast at gmail.com.
Hey.
Welcome to episode number 4. What's up, Maddie?
What's up?
How are you?
Not much, man. Oh, thriving. Doing
Welcome.
the best I can.
I've been looking forward to this. What are we, episode 4 now?
This is crazy.
I know.
Look at us doing the damn thing.
It's been growing and it's been awesome. And I just can't thank everyone enough for being a part of this experience. This has been, I was talking to some people I used to work with in Montana, and I'm being 100% honest when I say this has been my favorite phase of my career.
so much fun.
It's been fun. It's been successful.
Yeah.
It's been us just building something from the ground up for ourselves. We've been investing in ourselves. And I don't have to answer to anybody. I haven't had a single air check in the last month.
Well, I got news for you, buddy. It's coming up.
I wanted to start, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
I have a few things on my itinerary.
Okay.
First thing I need to do is issue a correction.
What?
And boy, do I feel silly.
Okay.
So remember last week we were talking about
This
makeup.
is where the air check would have came in.
Remember we were talking about makeup,
Yeah.
which admittedly, not my strong suit.
Can't relate.
I know you can't. By the way, this is the skimpiest I've ever seen you dress.
Thank you.
Do you want to? Are you trying? Do you want to show off? I know Brett and Jerry are probably watching. I've never seen her wear less than that. I don't think, except on Snapchat.
Not yet. You know what I've started doing is wearing less every week.
Okay.
And hoping that people notice.
That's going to make our numbers go up and up.
Soon it's just going to be pasties. I can't wait for you guys to see that phase.
And the stripper pole will come back.
Yeah, and then the stripper pole's in there. But that's after I get a tummy tuck. We got a little bit.
So my genius self, I was like, I'm going to tell Maddie something she doesn't know about makeup.
I can't remember what it was.
It was that elf. I said
Oh yeah. Does it not stand for that? Does it not stand for eyes, lips, and face?
I said ears, lips, and face. Right?
I didn't even hear that.
I said ears, lips, and face twice.
I even listened to that whole show and I
I'm
never
just thinking
caught
about
it.
women in the mirror, like fine tuning their ears, like
Like a little powder here, a little contour
yeah, just
to really make the earlobes pop.
or make them look elf-like, like towards the top, like pointed. So yes, I apologize.
And the thing that shows you how little I knew about that brand because I was like, really?
It
Phenomenal.
It is eyes, lips, and face. So
Okay, that makes more
I
sense.
stand a little bit corrected.
Okay.
And then I wanted to follow up on something. I wrote down here something I want to talk about with you.
Yeah.
So you have been at least 2 times to strip clubs recently, right?
Yeah, like last weekend or the weekend before I went there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Scores is the one I went to a couple weekends ago. My first time ever going there, and I loved it. I can't wait to go back.
it dawned on me over the past week. I'm really curious to know about social distancing at the strip clubs.
There's none.
That was my question. Okay.
No. There is none. Oh God, listen, I was hammered when I went there. Hammered. And I can't remember if they were wearing masks or not. I only saw the back of them. Like on my lap, but I only saw their backside.
Wait, you didn't see any faces of the dancers?
I can't really remember, no.
I'm sure they weren't. I mean, I would
Kent
think
said I was with the cutest one, though, for whatever that's worth.
which again, we should go for. I would expect nothing less from our Maddie West. So no, what if you want like a lap dance? Will they just all beehole in the face?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
God bless.
Love it. Love
That's-
it.
Are there any like
I can't remember if they had masks on. It's bothering me now.
How can you would remember? I know you would remember.
I think I probably would.
I know you.
Because you're like breathing in there, like if they're facing you, because like the one that was giving Kent a lap dance was facing him. And I mean, they're like sharing each other's breath at that point. You know what I mean? Like they're all so, but
Not just face breath though, sometimes. They can get air from all sorts of different.
I know. That's what I'm saying. You might catch a draft from anywhere. But no, there's no social distancing.
That was my question. Because I had a story here that I only saved because we were talking about last week, but there's like a strip club in Maine. They moved their show outside.
Oh.
I've just a few details.
I can't risk that.
Strippers in Rhode Island.
Can you imagine if my father's driving down the street to like go to work at 4 in the morning,
you can't
and
just
I'm
see
like,
them from the main road.
and I'm like getting a lap dance? Well, then I don't want to go to that strip club.
Well, the strippers apparently don't want to go there either. It's Rhode Island. I apologize for anyone who's on their way to Maine now.
It's all over there.
So
It's that whole part. I don't know any of it.
let's see. They can do lap dances out there too, just all outside.
I kind of wondered that because I was like, can you get a private dance? Because usually I go to Lucky Lady. They have this like little private room, and I got my girls there, and I get my private dances. You know what I mean? And I was like, I wonder. Well, I didn't get into Lucky Lady because my ID was expired. Remember?
I remember.
Scores didn't catch it. They just let me right in. Their mistake. But don't worry. I got my updated ID in the mail a couple days ago.
I imagine it didn't take you any time at all.
No, I was like, I'm getting declined from the strip clubs. I will not have this. Tapped right away on my phone, made sure I got that updated.
Perfect.
But I can't remember what I was saying. I was wondering if they could do private dances. And I never asked for one at Scores, and I didn't really see an area. Again, I was really hammered, but I didn't really see an area where it could happen. But we were just on the couch, and they were just dancing with us like in the regular seating. And plus, strippers at strip clubs love when women come in.
Oh, yeah.
It's just a thing. So we just got all the attention no matter what. There was people at the stage like, what?
I was just like, I don't know if there'd be like, if they'd play into it, like, and now welcome to the stage, Corona. Or, just like any sort of like.
Quarantine. Quarantina.
Guys, get your hand sanitizer ready. Here comes quarantine.
I'd give her all my dollars.
Here's COVID barely 18. Oh, we're back.
We're back. We're back. I love it.
What else is going on? So you said you want to talk about your mom, Shelly.
Yes.
Being bougie today.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to introduce this segment. Hopefully it's something that we can start doing on the regular.
By the way, did you say she's in recovery right now?
Yeah, so she just got her boobs done for the 3rd time.
So I thought you said that last week. I thought you said she was...
No. Right, I did say that last week, but she was already in Arizona, which is where she's getting it done. And you have to quarantine in the state for 10 days before your surgery. So you can't just like fly there and just get your boobs done and fly home. Like, which makes sense because they can't operate on you.
Back at home, her daughter's face is literally between 4 stripper butt cheeks.
But they can't, which is probably why they special requested her to quarantine for 10 days. They're like, we know Maddie's your daughter. But
you got flagged?
Yeah, I got flagged as like a hazard. I can't wait to walk into the airport this weekend because I'm actually flying out to Arizona over the weekend to go tend to her needs, while she's out there.
Oh, you're going, she's just flying you in to be like a helper?
Yeah.
God bless
And
her.
I'm getting lip filler and Botox, but that's another story.
Are you quarantined for 10 days?
No, I'm walking up in there. Like, plump these lips, baby.
I didn't say this article, but I did see that since the quarantines are being lifted, we're rolling back out.
Right.
Apparently the Botox places are getting just slammed.
Right. Everyone got so ugly over quarantine, and now they're like, oh my God, like my roots, my nails, my Botox, everything like that.
Oh, I know that salons got slammed right after everything opened back up too. And I was like, I can imagine why.
Yeah.
Everyone needs to look good again.
Right.
There's another business that's getting slammed too, and I'm going to get to that later. I want to hear about your mom.
Yeah, well, she's doing good. So she had to quarantine in the state for 10 days before surgery. So she just like rented an Airbnb out there and has just been like living her best life by the pool.
Doesn't she have family out there?
Yeah. Which is what's crazy. Her sister is in town right now here. And she's out there. So they literally had to have like crossed flight paths. And, but yeah, like I have cousins and stuff out there too.
They wave to each other on their airplanes.
Exactly.
Well, why doesn't your mom's sister let her stay at her house?
I don't know. I don't think she wanted to burden anybody for that long.
Okay, fair enough.
And so, but yeah, she's in recovery. She had her operation today and she's in recovery right now. I haven't heard from her yet, but her best friend is out there right now with her. And she texted us and let us know everything's cool. So I can't wait to see her new boobies.
Okay.
I did FaceTime her earlier. She flashed me one last time with the old boobies. So I really got to take them in. And I really got it. And I was like, you know what? Sayonara, old boobies.
Yeah, I feel like we should have had like a funeral for them. If I would have known.
We can't keep affording these funerals. This is the 3rd funeral. She just keeps getting new boobs. I can't afford any more funerals.
I will make a funeral. I'll front the bill for it.
Do you think that I should have asked her to keep her old implants because I know they put different ones in there.
I don't
and then we
think-
could have buried them.
I'm not sure you're allowed to keep them. I might be wrong.
I want to reuse them.
I want them.
I'm just saying. I want can you knock half price off my next boob job if I?
Let me have a couple of them. Let me have a couple of days of them first, and then then I'll give them to you.
But yeah, she's in recovery and she's good. And we're also simultaneously introducing the Shelly being bougie segment to the show.
So explain what this is. I know your mom.
Yeah.
Even my friends that I was talking to from a previous job, they were like, I don't even know who Shelly is, but I'm dying for her to be on your show.
All of my friends say the same thing. Like friends, new friends, old friends, anyone that's had any kind of interaction or even heard a story about Shelly is like, I just love her and I want to meet her. And I kind of keep a running log in my phone of things that my mom says that are just really her showing her privilege and her money. And I kind of keep, because mind you, my mom, she's very well off.
Yeah.
I'm not going to act like she's not or try to hide that from
Before
anyone.
I ever knew anything about your mom, you used the perfect word to describe her. Do you remember what it was?
Oh, extra.
Shelly is extra.
Yeah, she's
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what situation. It always applies.
Literally, I'm crowning. And she's like, did you have to go into labor on Tuesday? I told you Tuesday was the day of the garage sale. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
So the birth of your grandson interfered with your garage sale.
Inconvenient for you? So I'm about to have my vagina ripped open. And this is inconvenient for you?
That's
That's
Shelly.
her. That's her. She's very extra. She's very bougie. And like I said, I'm not going to deny my privilege or her success or her wealth because that just makes me seem like I'm downplaying the situation. You know
Okay.
what I mean? And I don't like when people do that. So yeah, she's very well off, very extra, very dramatic.
Okay.
And that did not just that hasn't necessarily been how she's always been. It's a fairly recent thing.
Okay.
Since she got super successful, I would say within the last 10 years or so, her ego just
Well, I've only known her for 2.
Yeah.
But I mean, extra.
It's been real prime the last few years. Yeah.
Extra fits the bill for sure.
Right. So I even told her I was going to do this segment. I was like, Mom, I'm going to do a segment. It's weird. It's really weird calling her mom. Very weird.
You've always called her Shelly.
Just Shelly. Yeah.
Has that always been? Or just
No,
the
when she
past-
started acting less like a mom and more like a Shelly, I started calling her Shelly. Before her surgery today, I was like, love you. It's so weird. I'm like, I love you, Mom.
My mom and I always tell each other we love each other.
No. Or even if I have to hug my mom, it's so weird. Which some people are probably like, oh. But that's just how we have more of a sister relationship than anything.
Yeah.
Not that she's not a good mom. She's a great mom. She buys me whatever I want.
Yeah, I mean,
Right. Yeah.
100%. By the way, we need to put your video from TikTok.
Oh yeah, I forgot to send that to
Send
you.
it to me as a video file, please.
Yeah, I will.
Because
I
people
will.
were asking about that last week too.
Oh, I can't wait for you guys to see it.
I want to throw it in at the end or somewhere.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Your sister and your mom interacting. It's
Yeah.
just very
I can
much.
play it on my phone and play it for the camera later too if you want.
Well,
Either way.
I'll put it in professionally. I'll make it look good.
Either way is good. So, so I'm introducing the segment Shelly being bougie, which, like I said, anytime my mom says something that's just absolutely ridiculous, I just write it down in my phone. And it's usually a quote that she says or a conversation I'm having with her.
Okay.
And it's just her being bougie and entitled and spoiled. And it really comes out sometimes. And so I like to just keep this as a log in my phone.
How many do you have for us?
Today, I probably have 10 or 12.
Oh, sweet. Okay,
yeah,
cool.
yeah. So
We've got
whenever you're
time.
ready, we can introduce bum ba da bum.
Do you want a graphic for it?
Yes. Shelly being bougie. Woo! Yay! There's people lifting their shirts up everywhere right now.
Hey, Chad, here's a benchmark for you.
I literally have it in my phone. Shelly being bougie. Now, I started this months and months and months ago, and it's just something I've kind of kept.
Hold on. I
remembered.
So you told me at Super Bride
Yeah.
that you had this idea for a segment called Shelly being bougie, but you didn't want to do it on the radio because you thought it was too good.
I was like,
You
they
were
don't
still
deserve
you were
it.
still working there.
Yeah, and I was like,
wasn't.
they don't deserve it.
You told me they didn't deserve it. and I
Yeah,
was
they
like,
didn't.
I agree.
Because
Let's-
it's a killer segment and they don't deserve it. And when we can actually have Shelly on for Shelly being bougie, that's when we've peaked. You know what I mean?
I feel like we can make this happen.
she's down. She's
She's
down.
always welcome.
Yeah, she's so down. And when I told her I was doing this, like kind of gave her a heads up. I was like, by the way, she was like,
you know,
oh my God, this just made my day.
This reminded me of another thing too. I was so surprised one time. There was one time you said, because every Saturday on the radio, they used to replay like the best, we call it the worst of the Rob, but it was like the best stuff from the week.
Right, yeah.
And there was one time we were talking about your mom's implants and you were like, you have to take that out.
Yeah, she got so like conservative all of a sudden.
So now you're just all here and this is like her fourth boob job.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
like,
now. I think she's down for the cause. And I think she was the same like how I was about the radio and just like not wanting to really completely be myself or completely let everybody know everything. And now that this is my own,
it's
then
hard.
I'm down.
It's hard when they stomp all your creativity.
It's literally just them.
To want to.
I could go on any other radio station and be like, my mom's had 4 boob jobs. That one though, I'm like, I don't know. I don't need what mom.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Who's Shelly?
I had a kid.
Well, and I love that you wouldn't use your son's name on the radio.
No, never.
You wouldn't do this segment on the radio. Your mom didn't. Your mom's boobs were real on the radio, and now we're here on the
I don't think
podcast.
her
And
boobs have ever been real.
they were just born with implants.
Yeah, I think that's how Shelly worked.
All right, so let's get started.
Okay,
you got a
so-
good one to kick things off.
So I'm driving. I can remember this conversation very specifically because I'm on the phone with my mom, who's being overly dramatic per usual. And I'm like, you know, she's with my younger sister. My younger sister's driving my mom's car.
That's
My
the one
mom's
who's in the TikTok video, right?
Yes. And my younger sister, Brooke, she's 25-ish. I think she's about to be 25.
Okay.
Or maybe it's 26. No, it's 25. And
Hi, Brooke.
she's like, hey, Brooke, she don't listen. She ain't a real one.
Stop it. She doesn't?
No, she ain't a real one.
You're kidding me.
I really hope she listens to this and is like, I am listening. No, I bet she don't.
I'm shocked.
And that's
I always
fake.
thought she was supportive
And
of
that's
you.
fake.
Yeah. I mean, whatever.
That's why
Hey,
I never bought you alcohol when I turned 21.
Never.
No, she literally had my ID.
Brooke, did you drink beer last night?
Did you drink beer last night? It's yes or no.
Yes or no question, Brooke.
So my mom's all flustered about something. She's yelling about something. And I'm like, what are you guys doing? Where are you guys at? What do you do? She's like, okay. And I quote, your sister's over here driving my $90,000 car and she's on her damn phone.
That was something you heard her say?
Yes, literally. I'm on the phone with her. And I'm like, why are you screaming? It's like, your sister's driving my $90,000 car and she's on her damn cell phone. Then
That's the definition of first world problems.
literally. Then this is whenever her and her husband went on like a trip somewhere. I'm like, oh, what'd you guys do? I'm on the phone with her again. We talk all the time on the phone. I'm like, oh, what'd you guys do yesterday? She's like, we went to like Louis Vuitton and like I got a couple things. Like one was like a limited edition or whatever. And I'm like, oh, okay. That's just like literally my house payment, but that's fine. And then she's like, and then he took me to Tiffany's. But, oh, God, I just couldn't find anything I liked. Can you imagine going into Tiffany's and not even finding anything, like walking out empty-handed when you have the option to literally just get whatever you want?
It just makes it seem like everything was beneath her.
Yeah.
And that's why I love Shelly.
Literally,
Yeah.
yes, exactly. So then we're talking about my bachelorette party, and I'm sending her all these hotel ideas because I'm like, hoping, which she ended up doing it, that she would book it for me. Mm-hmm. And then me and my friends could use more money on probably the strip clubs.
Yeah, for sure.
And so I was looking into like places in Nashville that were like $150 a night. And I'm sending these to my mom. I'm like, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? What do you think about this? Now, this was my first time I booked my bachelorette party.
Yeah.
She texts me and I quote, Maddie, I'm not staying $150 a night hotel.
She's saying it's not expensive enough.
Then she proceeded to book a place that's $600 a night.
God bless the woman.
Now, mind you, then COVID happened and we had to cancel my
Your
reservation. Yeah. I had to cancel my reservation. So then we go back most recently and the place that she booked is $1,000 a night.
Oh my goodness. How many nights?
Just two.
Don't
Just
you?
two.
Don't you,
Only two.
Don't you just wish? I
Right,
mean,
yeah.
I would just love to be able to not worry about stuff like that.
I know. It would just be so, I know. And a lot of people do have like the wrong impression that because Shelly's my mom, I just have like this really carefree life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, I just do whatever I want, buy whatever I want, get whatever I want. Like I still have bills to pay. That's why I married an engineer. Like I planned it out very well. I went straight from on the mom's tit directly to marrying an engineer.
If this person won't take care of me, I'll make sure this one will.
It's a skill, honestly.
Listen.
I'm proud of myself.
You learn from the best.
And I went to college for journalism. You know what I mean? Like just to be like, look what I did. Okay, so then. This is a conversation. I'll finish it off with this one. This is a conversation that me and my mom were having. This is me. Mom, you don't own anything that isn't expensive. And she says, yes, I do, Maddie. Because she hates when I call her out on stuff. And I said, like what? And she says, these Michael Kors shoes that I'm wearing right now were on sale for $150.
Fantastic. And that is Shelly. Until you guys get to meet Shelly.
Yeah.
That's all you need to know.
That's all you need to know.
That's all you need to know. And she's probably listening to this as she's recovering from boob job number 4.
3.
3?
3, yep. Hi, Mom.
Hi, Shelly.
Give us a little flash. Give a little flash to the camera for us.
This episode of the Rob's Podcast with Maddie West is brought to you by All About You DJ. Let All About You DJ host your next wedding, party, event, boob job. All About You DJ specializes in wedding receptions as well as any other private parties, including birthdays, engagement parties, school dances, or any other special event you may need a DJ for. We work with you to ensure that your entertainment is perfect for your event. At All About You DJ, your event is not only important to you, but it's also important to us.
I just can't keep it together because you said, let All About You DJ host your boob job, and I just imagined strobe lights in the operating room.
But Shelly would do it.
Boom.
I know she would do it.
Oh, it'd be awesome.
All About You provides everything you need to make your wedding the event of your dreams, from dazzling photo booths to ensure your event is one your guests will never forget, to gorgeous uplighting to make sure your wedding photos really pop. All About You offers several different packages to fit your needs. You could even ask for me, the Rob, to host your party.
Woo-hoo.
Check out our 5-star reviews on Google and on Facebook.com/allaboutyoudj. Give us a call at 812-402-0610 or check us out online at allaboutyoudj.com. If you'd like to advertise on the Rob's Podcast with Maddie West, please email therobspodcast@gmail.com.
And you know you do.
All right, Maddie, I had a few more things to throw at you, unless you had more for me. Okay. So
if you liked the Shelly segment, though, make sure you let us know because I've got content for days.
I was going to say, it looks like you had a few more on your phone, too.
Yeah. I've got content for days. So if that's something that y'all liked.
We don't cover a lot of sports content, but I like
sports.
I know.
I like a sport. I like football.
Yeah, and that's what I have for you. So that Dr. Fauci guy, Fauci.
I don't know who that is.
He's the COVID expert from the White House.
Oh, that explains why I don't know who he is.
I think he's formerly of the White House, and then I think,
okay.
if I'm not mistaken, I think Trump got rid of him because he didn't say the stuff that Trump wanted him to say.
Oh,
so
sounds very Trumpy.
As we're coming up on the 4th week of June, there's no solid indication that the most professional sports are going to be back on track.
I know, it's kind of weird.
And they're saying that the NFL season, quote, may not happen this year. I want to get your reaction to that.
That was it. That was my reaction. Oh my gosh, devastating.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care.
I'm worried.
You named your son after a football player.
I did, and I'm worried about Kent.
We
need
way?
to put him on suicide watch.
Without the Raiders?
Yes.
You guys named your son after a Raider. I mean, I know how important sports is to you.
And it's crazy that you say that because the Raiders are going to be in Vegas this year.
Is this their first year in Vegas?
Yeah, it'll be their first year in Vegas.
How do you feel about that?
I mean, I don't know. I think that it's a better opportunity for them and it's nicer. And now that I can say I've been to the stadium in Oakland, because I went to the very last Raiders game in Oakland.
That's right.
Back in December. The very last game ever. Very historic. They've been in Oakland for over 60 years. And before that, they were in Los Angeles. And so they've kind of always been in California. That's just kind of their thing. And now they're in Vegas. And I feel like if there's going to be a football team that goes to Vegas, Raiders is very fitting. So I'm excited for them. But at the same time, just tradition is just kind of oh, man.
Yeah, no, I understand.
But, oh, my God, their new stadium is insane.
Is there going to be an Oakland team?
No.
Okay, so you're just diehard Raiders.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, he's the White House coronavirus expert, Dr. Anthony Fauci.
He's like, maybe not.
He says, let's see, unless players are essentially in a bubble, insulated from the community, and they're tested nearly every day, it will be very hard to see how football is able to be played this fall. If there is a second wave, which is certainly a possibility, especially with the way strip clubs are handling things in Evansville.
I was literally just about to say, listen, if I can go to the strip club, I can go to the Raiders game.
It would be complicated by the predictable flu season. Football may not happen this year. The NFL is insisting it will start its regular season as scheduled on September 10th, but the virus isn't showing any signs of slowing down. In fact, Florida, where the NBA is scheduled to play, is quickly becoming the latest COVID-19 epicenter. So
I'm just saying, if you gave me all of these situations and you said, what's worth catching COVID? Strip club and Raiders game.
that might be worth it.
I think I've already done it once. I've already risked the strip club once.
Twice?
Twice.
Hasn't it been twice? Or was it just once?
Well, no, I got turned away at Lucky Lady, so it's only been once.
Okay, gotcha.
Because that was the first weekend they opened here in Indiana because that Friday that we had went into like stage 3 or whatever it was. So that's when the strip clubs could open back up because they're considered like a bar and they couldn't open back up.
I was going to say, if you say they're considered essential, I'm just going to walk out the door.
They're essential to me, but unfortunately not.
I mean,
to
some of the
everyone else.
places that have been deemed essential are ridiculous.
It is insane.
But, okay.
I mean, I'm grateful for the places that have stayed open, though.
Keeping with the theme of NFL.
Yep.
President Trump says he'll boycott the NFL if players kneel for the national anthem.
Sayonara. Bye.
Bye, Felicia.
What else do I have to get you to do to boycott stuff?
I think
Just let me know.
I think you're going to see even more kneeling
Oh, definitely.
in this whatever the next coming season is.
Definitely. And I think it will be more than just football, too.
So there's a rumor, or there's been a prototype developed that football players may be wearing these quote COVID-19 helmets.
Oh.
I wish I had a picture to show
Yeah.
you, but it looks exactly like picture people on a snowmobile.
Okay.
With they've got that big helmet on. It's covered in that tinted glass or whatever.
Okay, yeah.
Plexiglass or whatever it is.
Right.
It almost looks like that.
Yeah, sometimes running backs and stuff will use helmets that have shields on them because when you get tackled in professional football, really any football, people are mean and they'll try to jag your eyeballs out to try
Yes.
to hurt you. So sometimes receivers and running backs will wear stuff that has so I feel like if they can do it, then we can all do it. I can wear one to the game. Everyone wears a helmet.
I mean, it's not the dumbest thing I've ever heard. If it's going to keep you from getting COVID.
I mean, if we're all going to wear face masks and stuff, then why not?
What's safer than a snowmobile helmet?
Right. Exactly.
We look like Jedis walking into a football game, a stadium full of...
Can you imagine there's a time traveler and he shows up at the Raiders game?
Screw it. I'm going to commit. I'm going to go to a football game dressed entirely as an astronaut. I'll have just the glass bowl on my head.
Okay.
And a tinfoil suit or whatever. I'm going to...
That is
I'm committed.
literally Kent. If you said you can't go to the Raiders game unless you wear this, that's him. And me.
Okay, so there's been a lot and I want to make a prediction here, and I don't make a lot of sports predictions. So this has been obviously coming up with the way the world has been lately.
Yeah.
Are the Washington Redskins going to change their name?
Yes.
I'm saying that it's a no-brainer at this point.
Yeah. That idea has already been talked about, I'm pretty sure.
It's been around for 20 years.
Right.
Because their name is literally a slur against Native American
right,
people.
literally a racial slur.
How is it still around?
I don't know.
I'm sorry, guys who root for the Redskins, but
Right, yeah, no, I mean, you can be a fan of whatever team, but yeah, the name itself, they got to do something else.
I mean, don't they just have to at this point?
Yeah.
I don't know how...
You literally can't, or you're just setting yourself up for...
And I remember on that Blackout Tuesday, remember that, where everyone's supposed to black out their social media?
Yeah.
They blacked out. And I remember all the comments are just trolling them hey, instead of blacking out your social media, maybe change your name to not be a racial slur.
I'm just saying, I think that they should. I think the idea has been tossed around, and I think... obviously, it's not as easy as just okay, now we're this.
No, it's
You know
not.
what I mean?
It's not that
But
easy, but it's something that's worth doing.
They need to start that process. I agree.
And also,
I literally would have been fired for talking about this at my other job.
oh my God, yeah.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
without it, we were not allowed to have any sort of opinions about
Right.
anything like this.
Yeah.
I remember when the kneeling controversy was going on. Do not talk about it.
Right.
You do not say anything good or bad about President Trump. It was just
Well, that's good because I only got bad stuff.
Well, I mean, it's just we were not allowed to be
Right,
ourselves.
yeah.
It was awful.
Right. And I mean, I am also the type of person where I can have opinions and you can have a totally different opinion. And as long as you're not bullying me for mine and I'm not bullying you for yours, then I can coexist with anybody.
Yeah, but Maddie, you
know what I
might
mean?
turn off some potential listeners.
Bye. Jesus Christ. Goodbye. While we're at it, Black Lives Matter, love the gays, arrest the cops that killed Breonna Taylor.
But let me do it in the chat. but Maddie, you really might upset some of the potential Getting yelled at by Chad was like getting yelled at by the Todd Chrisley guy. Just like an effeminate cowboy. It was just like, no, Maddie, don't you know you might upset some of the listeners if you say something about the president?
That would just be tragic, wouldn't it?
It
I
just-
would rather people not listen to me for being my genuine self. You know what I'm saying? To me, that's worth it. Because again, I can totally respect your views and opinions. It doesn't mean that I agree with them, but like you could just be here like wearing a Trump 2020 shirt and I could still have a conversation
But
with
Maddie,
you.
what you don't understand is that those listeners might go to our websites and give us some clicks, likes, and shares. And they might download our app and turn the notifications on.
Everyone was downloading the app, let me tell you.
Anytime you
I didn't have the app downloaded.
anytime you turn on the phone, anytime you turn on the radio, then the DJ talks. They want you to go to their it's a commercial for their website or their app.
Anyway,
Don't have an opinion, Maddie, because we want everyone to like. We want everyone in the party.
you can't please everyone. That's so annoying. Especially me.
Super fun. We're gonna be super fun.
I'm like,
God.
I'm not nice
This was
enough to
this was
please
this was
everyone.
our life. I had to deal with it 2 years getting
Yeah.
yelled at by
And
Todd
it
Chrisley.
sucks. And I hate to be the person that says it because I hate when people say like, oh, I have a platform. But like when you do have a platform and you're not talking about things that matter, it makes you look so insensitive to what's going on.
Yeah, no, you're
If
absolutely
I come
right.
on this podcast with 100 listeners or 1,000 listeners and I don't address the Black Lives Matter movement or I don't address, like that it's Pride Month or something like that, that just makes me look ignorant.
By the way, it's more than 100 and it's more than 1,000. We're doing pretty well.
Holla.
Yeah, no, I'm
Holla.
just, and we're on episode 4. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying.
Maybe we know a thing or two about what we're talking about.
do
I don't
we?
know, whatever.
Hey.
And one more thing about football season. I saw this made me laugh. It takes about 600 cows to make one NFL season's worth of footballs.
How many cows?
600.
How many you think I eat, like, on average? Like a
You
year?
probably not many.
You're right, I don't really like red meat that much.
I don't know.
600 cows? Can we not find, like, an alternative?
I don't know.
I am not, like, a vegan or a vegetarian or anything, but that makes me really sad.
See, I'm not either, but I'm
Wait.
married to one.
They're already dead, though, right? Obviously, they're already
I
dead.
don't know.
So maybe it's just, like, using the most of, like, the scraps.
I'm going to bet.
Are they killing them specifically to get the footballs, or are they already being killed for meat and then they use their skin for the footballs?
I'm going to go ahead and bet that they probably killed them for the meat and the footballs and the leather and
It's
your mom's
made out
shoes.
of cows, really.
You didn't know? Well, leather is made from cows. Oh. And it's funny because it's called the pigskin.
I know, because that's where I was in my brain. That's where it wasn't making sense. That's why.
No, but it's made out of cows. Made out
Are you
of leather.
trolling me right now?
I'm not trolling you. I'm trolling. Of all the things
I
that
love
make...
football, and I know how that's made.
All right, I've got something else for you.
All right, I'm ready.
And I want you to think about it before you give me an answer.
You know me. You know I'm too quick. Okay, I'll ponder it.
Are we in the lowest point of our nation's history? I'm going to ask you 2 different questions.
Okay.
1, in our nation's history, period. And then 2, is it the lowest point of our nation in your lifetime?
Okay.
The floor is yours, Maddie West. Or I can go first if you want me to.
I don't know. It's kind of difficult to answer because the world is so different now.
It's 2020 has been a weird year.
Yeah, and the times are just different. You know what I mean? Like we have different means to things and we have different like things to keep us busy. So I don't think that it's like the worst part in the nation's history. Because when I think back to like the Great Depression that my grandparents lived in, like
Okay. So,
they didn't have jobs and everyone was really poor and stuff like that, but it wasn't
I would rather live in 2020 than 1920.
right. Yeah.
I would probably rather live in 2020 than any time pre-1980.
Right.
So I don't think it's the worst time in our nation's history.
right.
Now, is it the worst time
Yeah, it sucks.
in our lifetime?
It sucks, yeah.
That's what I'm kind of like there too. Like,
2020 is the worst.
I mean,
2020 is like drinking orange juice with pulp right after you brush your teeth.
Right after brushing your teeth, exactly.
Yeah.
So like, okay, and I just had a son. Like, I'm in a good spot. Like in my life, like this. Like I
Right.
told you, I'm at a career high as far as
Yeah.
I'm concerned. Like I'm loving what this has presented.
Yeah.
I love my day job.
Yeah.
I'm happy right
good.
now. But when I look around, this is the closest thing I've ever seen to a civil war.
Yeah,
It's
I could see that.
and I was gonna say it's like a nonviolent
Ken-
civil war, but it's kind of not.
Yeah.
It's not even nonviolent.
Ken said that too.
I mean-
Kenta said that same thing too.
And then I look I don't want to get all political, but as far as like the people who are handling the problems our nation is facing, and not just the president, but I'm talking from the top down.
Right, yeah.
I don't have a lot of faith in these people. And I don't know that our problems are getting fixed the way that they should be.
Right.
When we're talking about the civil rights movement, because I mean, listen, we grew up learning about civil rights. I mean, in school, and you learn about Martin Luther King, and you learn about Rosa Parks. And I feel like the stuff that our kids are going to be learning about is happening right now.
I know, it's wild to think about.
I know it's
and it's to me, it's exciting.
I mean, it is
because we're living and like when
it's happening right now.
Right, and we're living it. Like we're in the middle of it, and it's really exciting to me at the same. Although it is scary, I'm not going to lie. It's terrifying to think that this could just erupt. Definitely understand why it could.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like,
yeah.
Black people have been oppressed for how long? Like they're pissed.
Yeah, absolutely.
They should be pissed. You know what I mean?
Maddie, just want to let you know you might be upsetting some people now. You might upset the racists.
I hate the racists. Turn this off right now.
We don't hate anybody on our radio station. We welcome everybody to the party.
I welcome everyone,
especially the racists.
I welcome everybody. If
you're a racist, come take a look at our workspace. Our work environment is
just beaming equality over there. But yeah, it is.
That was sarcasm.
It's scary, but at the same time, for me, it's exciting, and it's a little less scary for me knowing I'm on the right side of things. I would really hate right now to be a racist. You know,
it's a really bad time.
It's a really bad time for you.
Yeah, for like racists or like sexual predators.
Yeah,
it's just like everyone's getting their comeuppance now.
Yeah, I mean, it was like the Me Too movement, and now it's the Black Lives Matter. I mean, you're getting what you deserve.
Yeah,
and I love it.
Yeah,
and I know being on the right side of it, like you and I are, and understanding and pushing for a change as well, makes it less scary for us.
Yeah, absolutely.
You
and
know
it's
what I
like
mean?
it's like when I almost feel like in some like George Floyd will be in the history books.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just like Rosa Parks was.
Yep.
You know, and
we were there.
And not only that, it's like I feel like things are changing.
Yeah.
And like that's nice to see. I'm sorry it took what it took to get us to where it is. But it's like and I'm learning things. Like I learned that the problem was way worse than I thought.
Same.
You know, I
Same.
Like I knew racism existed.
Right.
But I didn't know to
it was like that.
I'm waking up to things.
I know. And it's okay to say that too, because like you can
no, it's not, Maddie.
You can admit the fact that you were wrong and that you had beliefs, and you would think like it's not that bad. You know what I mean? And then be like, yo, it was that bad.
Yeah.
Like, it is that bad.
We just didn't know it.
And we didn't know it because we're white and we're privileged. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's in our brain based on, you know, the country and the world that we've grown up in. And that's so sad to me.
So then to get back to my original question. So was the question being, is this the worst time in our nation's history in our lifetime? So when I think back to the low points, the first thing that comes to mind is September 11th. Mm-hmm. And I feel like after September 11th, there was this, while it was obviously a tremendous tragedy, there was like a unity.
Right, like a patriotism.
That overcame the nation, that there was a beautiful result that came out of this awful thing.
Yeah.
That I'm not okay. I feel like we're super divided now.
We are.
As opposed to united. We haven't united to overcome this problem, unfortunately.
Right.
And so I do feel like it might be the worst time in our nation's history in our lifetimes.
Yeah, but I think it's making a turn in the right direction.
That's true. Yeah, I do think...
You know what I mean? Like, it's the lowest point, but I don't say that as in, like, the worst experience. I feel like it's the lowest point for our country, but again, because we're getting through this to get to the good. That's at least that's what I'm hopeful of.
According to what I have here, 72% of Americans say it's the lowest point in the country's history that they can remember. And 83% of Americans say they're extremely worried about the nation's future right now. Are you extremely worried about the nation's future?
No, I'm excited for it.
Okay.
I'm excited because I think the good guys are going to win this.
I do. I just hope it's not at a cost.
I know, right? That's the scary part.
That's the thing. And, you know, I feel like I hope that everybody who's in a position of power can kind of get on the right side of this issue too.
I hope so.
And
I really do.
If they don't, I hope that we can make them on the right side of this issue too.
Same. Yep.
All right, I saw this too. I wouldn't say this normally, but I know that you just got a cat.
I did.
Okay.
Yeah, who Kent is not allergic to, by the way.
What do you mean by that?
Well, he was really worried that he was allergic to the cat right after we first got the cat, even though we've had a cat before and he was fine.
Okay.
He was just being extra.
Well, hey, I developed a cat allergy. I had a cat throughout my entire childhood. In 7th grade, we got Mookie. And in college, I went away to college. When I came back, at some point in college, I developed a severe cat allergy.
It's possible. Yeah. Right? It's possible. And I didn't want to believe that was possible because I want the cat, right?
Yeah.
You know
what's
what I
your cat's name again?
Rugs.
I thought it was Rugs, but it didn't sound right. Okay, Rugs.
Yeah, Rugs. Or Ruggy Buggies.
How'd you get Rugs?
It's the last name of a Raiders player. Henry Ruggs, we just drafted him, and I'm really excited to see him play.
According to the Daily Mail. Okay, well, let me ask, before I even give this to you. How does Kent interact with the cat? Does Kent love Rugs?
Loves
Rugs?
him, yeah.
How does that make you feel about Kent?
I love him.
More?
Yeah.
According to the Daily Mail, women find men less attractive when they're holding a cat. Do you disagree?
Well, I disagree. I could see where like single women would think that because they would think like, oh, he's just like a weirdo cat dude.
A new study found women find men less attractive if they're into cats. Researchers at Colorado State University took photos of various men. Okay, and then they'd show them the same person holding a cat.
Yeah.
And then the reactions were more negative when they saw the guy holding a cat.
For some reason, cats have been labeled like feminine, like a woman's pet is a cat, and like dogs are for dudes.
It made them seem less dateable, both short-term and long-term, less dateable across the board, and they were even seen as, quote, more neurotic when they were holding a cat.
Really?
I just didn't know if that made you change your opinion on Kent at all.
Yeah, you're right. He is weird.
More weird, though, since you got Rugs?
No, he wasn't a cat person, and then my cat that I had since I was a child that kind of followed me around, and then, you know, whenever I met Kent, then it was our cat, I guess, but he had never really been into cats, and that cat loved him so much that I think he was just like, oh, like I don't have to like them for them to like me. Like she just liked me on her own, and then I liked her. And so now he's just a cat person.
Gotcha. Cool.
I think he would prefer a cat over a dog.
Really?
Now, yeah.
I think that's crazy.
Yeah.
I think that's neurotic.
I prefer cats over dogs, too.
I like cats. I love dogs.
I know you do.
Dogs are...
You literally have so many.
I have 3.
That's... Sheldon's had 3 boob jobs. You have 3 jobs. It's excess. It's excessive at this point.
And I love putting my face on all of those things.
True.
Yeah, no, I see, you could also argue I have 1 dog.
Yeah.
Brittany has Layla.
Yeah.
I have Roxy, and Will has Daisy.
And you guys all live together.
They just all live in my house. Exactly. I feed all of them.
Yeah. Okay.
So I mentioned earlier, and you know, Cody even asked me about this. Cody, who I work with, he's like, "Is Maddie really planning on getting a divorce? Because Cody's doing your wedding." And I was like,
We'll see how it goes.
We'll ask Maddie. So
we'll see how it goes.
I'm gonna use it as a segue. Are you planning a divorce in 2025 to marry Jerry Valeri? Yes or no?
Yes.
The divorce industry is booming post quarantine.
Oh, I bet.
So
that's hysterical, but kind of sad. It's really insensitive.
I'm going with hysterical because I'll be honest with you, I feel closer to my wife having been stuck with her. I will also be honest, our life isn't all that much different in quarantine.
Yeah.
we have I don't know if he's a newborn. We have a baby.
Right. Yeah.
We don't go out on the weekends.
Well, that's kind of what Kent says too. It's like, oh man, what are we gonna do on a Friday night? He's like, what do we ever do on a Friday night? And I'm like, true.
You guys go to strip clubs.
Well, sometimes.
You guys do stuff. You're 10 years younger than we are.
That's only like every other week.
You guys still do stuff. Like
that's true.
We do puzzles and play games and stuff, and that's the way we like it.
You just can't cage me, man. I'm just like a free
but
bird.
like,
I gotta get out.
Like even with like on other things, like in other stressful times, like a lot of people fight when they go on vacation. Like we get so close on vacation, or just like other.
Oh, I love vacation. Yeah.
Other stressful times for couples, like we really are able to fly. I love that about my wife.
Yeah.
So
especially once you have a kid, if you can get through that together, you can do anything.
Point is, if you're looking to get a divorce, apparently now you need to be patient because it's now taking twice as long to get a divorce. So what I'm saying is if you're planning your divorce...
I need to file by 22.
For 2025, maybe... You probably can do 2023.
Okay.
But I would just say allow more time for that divorce.
Okay.
The divorces are even hinting... did you see Kelly Clarkson?
She's getting a divorce?
And she's blaming it on the quarantine.
Really?
Yeah, and her husband.
Oh my gosh, when millionaires complain about quarantine, I'm like, shut up.
Right?
Go to one of your other houses.
Just exactly, live somewhere else.
Go like in your 4-acre backyard in like your pool house. I mean, come on now.
By the way, they're quarantining in Montana, which you said Kent wants
Kim
to
would
quarantine there.
love to be in Montana, yes.
We actually have a little following in Montana.
Oh, I love it.
Shout out Jay, Kyle, and McLovin.
Shout out all of them.
Yeah, they said some really nice things about you.
I know you played played me the snippet where they said
you're very talented.
that I was a diamond in the rough.
Yes.
And then he said that he wants me to come to Montana. And I'm just bling my hotline and I'll be in Montana anytime.
All of my friends want you. I don't know how else to put it. It's just something I've had to live with.
No, I really did appreciate the compliment. That's crazy. And it's very humbling to hear somebody else in this profession to compliment you that way. I'm not used to it.
Yeah, oh yeah, we only got garbage.
Right, yeah. I only ever heard how horrible I was.
My radio friends would tell me I was doing a great job.
All we hear right now is that the podcast is killer.
Yeah, but the people that we worked for would just open our mouths and empty their bowels into them.
Yeah, like literally hearing that clip from your friends in Montana literally almost made me cry.
Now,
because it's just like,
yeah,
you guys really?
We only heard
a diamond.
We only heard crap. I mean, we only heard crap, and I knew it wasn't
bad. It was always
bad.
just like, yeah, what are you thinking, you stupid idiots?
And when it did get bad, it's because you guys made it bad.
Right.
Maddie and
y'all did it to yourselves. No sympathy here.
Don't blame Rob and Maddie for the garbage you're putting out on that frequency. That was not our fault.
To all of our friends in Montana that listen. And for saying all those nice things about me, because it really made my day, and I can't wait for Rob to send me that audio clip so I can play it for my family.
A source told People magazine things had changed in their marriage. We're talking about Kelly Clarkson and Brandon Blackside.
I wouldn't want to marry Kelly Clarkson either way. She seems like a dud.
The split was a while coming. They both work so hard, it's nearly impossible to enjoy each other, especially when children are needing constant attention. They have 4.
4 children?
Yeah. That's a lot.
You're blaming the divorce on quarantine when you have 4 children?
Exactly.
Come on, be honest with yourselves.
I had
own up. It's the children. That's too many.
How are we doing? We can still go for a few,
yeah,
right?
We're still
doing
good, yeah.
Okay. Hey, let me do a spot real quick, if you don't mind. This episode of the Roz Podcast with Maddie West is brought to you by Spuds and Stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And as soon as I find...
And every time that you pull up that Philly cheesesteak on the screen...
Yeah, well, thank you for reminding
me.
I
almost don't go to the gym. It's like, because usually I go to the gym right after this, because I've got like my, who's watching my kid arrangement figured out. And you pull up that Philly cheesesteak, and I'm like, you know what?
Look at that thing. Wait, it's not up there.
Come on now.
Dude, I'm trying.
I know.
We're episode 4.
I literally always, I have the like easiest part in this ever. I always just walk in, and it's like red carpet rolled out for me.
I can hear. I told y'all Rob sucked at his job. He's become my new favorite.
Can't even put the Philly cheesesteak on the screen.
He's talking about spuds and stuff, and he doesn't even have the cheesesteak on the screen.
The banana peppers on it are what really do it in for me. Literally, when I went to the store the other day after I left the podcast, I had to get a whole thing of banana peppers.
Did you?
And then I was like, am I pregnant? And then I was like, not for long.
Chad's becoming my favorite impression to do, by the way.
I like the other one. Hey, Maddie, it's this person.
You can say it's Liberty.
Oh, hey, it's Liberty. And
you couldn't.
I just want to talk to you real quick. If you want to come in here and shut the door.
Yeah, just come on in. Yours is better than mine.
Yeah.
I'll just stick. Hey, me and Liberty want to talk to you for a second. Why don't you pull up a chair and close the door?
Close the door was always my favorite because I'm like, oh man. I'm really going to get it.
This episode of the Roz Podcast with Maddie West is brought to you by Spuds and Stuff.
With banana peppers.
I've been telling you guys for years, I was never lying to you. Spuds and Stuff makes the best Philly cheesesteaks in the tri-state. I would not lie to you about that. I'm from Philly.
I know.
I'm putting my Philly reputation on the line when I tell you who makes the best Philly in town. And I helped Jason tweak and fine-tune this recipe to get it to where it is.
Yep.
And I can put my stamp of approval on it. It's the best in town. Spuds and Stuff, they make the best. He like I said, he brought me in, he asked for my feedback, we got it to where it was perfect. And don't forget, look at those spuds.
Oh my god.
If you don't want to eat one of those, my goodness, those things
Why
are
would
so
you not? If
good.
you also there's a lot of things that we've said like you can stop listening now. If you don't want to eat either of those on the screen, you can also stop listening.
Yeah, who are you? You need to check yourself.
I don't want to be friends with you if you don't want to eat a potato the size of your head. Don't talk to me.
We don't. Now, Maddie, some people don't want to eat the spuds the size
Don't
of
care.
Not
that
everyone
is like
likes
the most vegan like I offended no one with that statement.
I don't. You
the carbs. The starch.
You offended diabetics, Maddie, and we want everybody at the party. 2403 Washington Avenue on Evansville's east side and now open at 41 in Boonville, New Harmony.
Oh, yeah.
They're now hiring for drivers at both locations. And, of course, if you would like to advertise on the Rob's Podcast and Maddie West, please email the Rob's Podcast at gmail.com. And if you want
you do.
If you want us to do it in our Chad and Liberty voice, we can do that too.
For $5 extra.
I'll throw that one in if you want us to.
That's a little bonus for you.
We were talking about celebrity couples with Kelly Clarkson and Brandon Blackstock.
Yeah.
I saw a story.
Never knew his name.
This was super annoying to me. And I wanted to get your thoughts to see if I'm crazy or if this is annoying.
Yeah.
So Katy Perry and Orlando Bloom are having a baby.
Like any day now, right?
I think
soon.
Yes. So you know what they're naming their baby?
Oh God.
What?
God.
You know this is going?
It's gonna be really cringy if it's like after a football player.
Do you know what they're naming their baby?
No, I know it's a girl, and I know literally any day now.
Neither do they.
Oh, okay.
So they're not going to name their daughter until after they meet her. And
Well, they gotta have like a lineup, right?
You do that with a dog. Like you name your dog Happy.
Yeah, how are you gonna see? It's like, what, are you waiting to see its personality?
That's what I'm just like, that's just
It
stupid.
looks like speaking of potatoes, when babies come out, they just look like a potato. Like, what are you gonna be like? Oh my God, she looks like a Jessica.
Are you saying your brand manager looked like a potato?
Yes.
Because if you are, you're right.
But it's just
That's
like,
funny for just the people who know Liberty.
yeah, but it's like, yeah, what are you waiting to see, like their personality, or like, they're just gonna be a baby?
What are you going to name it? An adjective? Like,
Yeah, like she looks like a Jessica.
like how do you?
Yeah, you can't do that.
I think that's stupid. I just think it's pretentious.
Yeah. I mean, I was like so invested in Woodson. I was like, listen, at this point, it doesn't even matter if it's a boy. I feel like I'm just going to name either gender. It doesn't even matter.
The last thing I have written down to get to today is you texted me, ask me about brown recluse.
Okay. Are we ready for this story?
Usually when Maddie texts me to remember something,
It's a good one.
it's usually worth it.
And I like how this has kind of become a thing that we're doing now, where we kind of finish up the show with me just talking about something ridiculous that happened in my life recently.
Now, no talking.
That just goes to show you how often something happens.
Maddie, don't talk about your life too much. It doesn't invite the audience in.
But blog about it, because people want to know how bad your life sucks.
Blog about, get the hits, likes, and shares. That's what we want.
This one would get a lot of likes and shares, though. Okay, I can't remember if I've said who I bought my wedding band from before, but I'm not going to name.
You haven't. I know who it is. But
I'm
you
not
haven't.
going to name them just because of the story I'm about to tell. I don't want to like give them a bad rep. You know what I mean?
I didn't listen.
It is something that's beyond their control.
Back on the radio, I went to feud with a jeweler too.
I know. And this isn't.
And I didn't say their name.
Yeah, it's not necessarily a feud. It's just like a series of unfortunate events. Which, if I could like hashtag my wedding, it's literally going to be hashtag series of unfortunate events. Move over, Lemony Snicket.
Real quick,
I'm taking over this bitch.
My story went like this. My story was I bought a ring for my engagement ring for Brittany at a jewelry store.
A local one, yeah.
They promised me, it's a national chain, but it's a local store,
Yep.
owned and operated or whatever. They promised me, I was like, listen, you can't send me any bills until the new year because
or like any like advertisements.
Yeah,
or anything,
she'll know that it's coming if
Yeah.
you. So I went home for my sister's wedding in December of 2018, and all this mail comes from blank jewelers.
So annoying.
And yeah, she called her mom immediately. Rob's going to propose. God, that. And I didn't know about it.
So annoying.
I know. They promised me.
Yeah.
And then we went back in to get to like get it fitted or whatever. The band's what we went back to. And like, she caught people taking pictures of us, like, because, hey, look who's back, you know? Yeah, it was the whole thing. It was a very unpleasant experience.
People were like taking photos of you?
Yeah, it was
disgusting.
It was trashy.
Disgusting. Well, just like I never even thought about going there because of your story. Like when you told me that, whenever I was on this wild hunt for my wedding band, never once went there. Never even considered it. I was like, they're disgusting.
It's a shame because like I liked it was the only place in town I could get the product I wanted. But their service with me was just a zero.
Not up to par, yeah.
So, all right, what was your story?
So originally I went in to look for my wedding band, and I found one that I really, really liked in the mall, at one of the jewelers in the mall, which is the same place that Kent got my wedding band. Found a ring that I adored, a wedding band that I loved.
Okay.
After looking for hours and hours, I settled on the one. It was out of my price range, which is why I kept trying to talk myself out of it. But of course, I ended up getting it.
You are your mother's daughter.
It was like a size 6, and I have the world's skinniest fingers. And
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
I had to be sized down to a 4.5 is the size of my fingers. And I could actually go smaller, honestly. I've got these like crazy skinny fingers. So they call me back a few weeks later and they're like, hey, because of the type of diamond that's in the ring, we're not going to be able to size it that small. So I was devastated, right? I talked myself into spending the extra money. I was obsessed with it, got it, was super excited. And then they tell me we can't size it down that small. And we can't special order it that small either. For whatever reason, this person doesn't make it that small. I'm like, okay, fair enough. Go back to that jeweler, get my money back. And then I'm like on a wild goose chase around Evansville trying to find goose chase.
Maddie is looking for gooch like crazy. Anyone will... Somebody give me some gooch.
I love it. So I go to literally every gooch store in Evansville. Literally every single one. And
I mean, you found him at the strip club.
Yeah, there was lots of them there.
She struck gold there.
Yeah, for sure. And all of the rings look the exact same at every jeweler I go to. All of them look the same. It's like the same like tint, because my wedding or my engagement ring is rose gold. And so I obviously was picking out a rose gold band. They're not like in abundance at places, I guess. You can find silver like crazy and gold like crazy, but rose gold, I guess, is still fairly new. And so there's only like 10 I get to choose from. All of them look the same at every place I go. So finally, like I'm driving past this place and I'm like, oh my God, I totally forgot that place even existed. I'm going to go in there. And there in the case is the exact ring that I had ordered at the other place.
That's awesome.
Booyah. So, but it's silver, right? And I'm like, hey, listen, lady, like, I don't even introduce myself to her. I'm like, I need that ring, 4.5 rose gold. Can you do it or not? Or I'm leaving because it's the exact same ring.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, I can do it. I'm like, here's my money.
Okay.
Bought it that day. So this is in February. It's due like March 28th.
Due to come in?
Due to come in. The world goes into quarantine that week.
Oh, no.
So I'm like, I guess I'm not going to get my wedding ring. No big deal, right? Because I'm like, once things open back up.
Can't they like ship it to you or something? You got time?
I have no idea. I think everything was so abrupt. I tried calling corporate. I tried calling the service number. Literally, I've talked to everyone you can think of when it comes to how can I get this ring? No one can help me. So then I finally get a hold of somebody like at the corporate office and they say the distributor where the ring was made is in a different state that's still in quarantine. They haven't even opened back up yet. And I'm like, oh my God. So then I'm like, places start opening back up. A few weeks have gone by. And I'm like, okay, well, the local, because again, it's a national chain, just like you were saying, is where I got this ring.
Yeah.
I'm looking around. I'm like, oh, all of the other ones are opening back up. So Evansville's has got, no, they stay closed, right? They stay closed. I'm like looking on their website. Doesn't say anything about when they're reopening. I'm like, why is all the other ones around here opening, but not this one? So you know what I do? I just call the closest one that's open, which is like in Illinois.
Okay.
I call them and I'm like, tell them my situation. I'm like, hey, where can I get my ring? They like jump through all these hoops to try to get my ring for me. No one can figure anything out, right? Then I get a piece of mail in the mail yesterday. Now, mind you, this store is still not open here in Evansville. Still to this day, not open, even though literally every other business has opened in Evansville.
Yeah, everything's open now.
Right. No, they're still closed, right?
Really?
Still closed. And I'm like, when they're like independently owned like that, some people just taking their own time, doing their own thing. I respect it. But I get a piece of mail that says, hey, Maddie, come pick up your ring. And I'm like, how am I supposed to do that when they're closed? So I'm like, who sent me this? Is this like someone trolling me because I know like all the hell I've been through to try to locate even where it's at? I'm like, I know it's made because it was due the week that the world shut down. I know it's out there somewhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And every time I called to check in on it, they're like, it's right on time. It's right on. Everything's going good. No holdups, no nothing. And then quarantine. But anyways, so I call the Illinois place again today. And I'm like, hey, it's me. We're on like a first name basis, right? Yeah. I'm like, hey, it's me again. Tell me why I just got this in the mail saying to go pick up my ring at my local jeweler. And she was like, that's weird. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, they're like closed, like chains over the windows closed. Like not closed for lunch, like closed forever. And she's like, that's weird. She calls me back and she's like, okay, well, they were open for one day.
Shut up.
Last week. And they've got your ring, which is why they sent you the piece of mail saying to come pick it up. Then they realized that they had a brown recluse and black widow infestation.
Shut up.
And so now they're closed again.
You've got to be kidding me.
Hashtag series of unfortunate events. When I end up divorced, I will never be able to say I never saw the signs.
So are you telling me when they opened for one day, were they intending to open permanently?
Yes. No. Yes, they were. It was their reopening. They reopened.
Yes, they're open again.
They opened.
Let's send Maddie that mail to come get her ring.
Right. We got it.
What's that on the wall?
A brown recluse, and all of its whole family has moved in over quarantine.
Oh, so they had just enough time to get the mail out to you.
Yes.
And now they're...
Which I find a little bit of peace knowing that my ring is there.
Okay.
They physically have it, right? It's there.
Yeah.
It's at the store.
This is okay.
Yeah.
So, and you still have what, 2 months, a month and a half, a month.
Yeah. Thanks. Thank you.
How long does it, you get an exterminator in there, bada bing, bada boom?
Well, but apparently, according to the lady from Illinois that I was talking to, it was quite an infestation.
Really?
Yeah, to where she's like, oh, they've already been closed down now for like a week. So I literally just missed the day, right? Because I've been keeping tabs on it, checking the internet, see like, hey, are they open again? Are they open again? Are they open again? For some reason, like I said, they already took like a month longer than anyone else to reopen anyway.
Yeah.
And then, you know, Brown Recluse and his whole squad moved in there. And then Black Widow brought her homies. And then everybody was partying at the strip club and reproducing.
This does sound like a superhero origin story. Like,
I'm like, what are the odds that they reopen and they're like, oh my gosh, now we have a brown recluse infestation?
Wouldn't it be amazing if they're like, okay, Maddie, it's the day before your wedding. We know you really need your ring. We still have an infestation of brown recluses and black widows. Here's what we're going to do. Meet us in the parking lot. We're going to give you the key. You're
going to run in there and get it.
Your ring is in that safe. Here's the code. You've got to get in there. If you can get out alive,
okay,
the ring is yours.
Okay.
But
I'm for sure getting out alive. I'm not going to be happy about it. But I will say, so brown recluse apparently can't climb, right? So you'll never find one like climbing up a wall. They're always on the ground.
Really?
Yeah. For some reason, I don't think they can crawl. Or or they don't tend to. I'm pretty sure they only stay on the ground.
I've never heard of that, but you
and I think
probably more
black widows are pretty low hanging too, but I think that they can climb. So you know what I'm doing? I'm gonna like rollerblade in there.
I was gonna suggest moon shoes.
Is this like I feel like this is like
American Ninja Warrior?
No, it's like Saw 57, where it's like like you might get bit by like a spider, but
Maddie,
can
it's
you
time
get
to
it
play
out?
a game. The ring of your dreams is in this store.
I cannot wait till I get this ring though, and I can show everyone like. Well, I mean, who even knows if it's going to happen? But I could show everybody like.
But watch, like now,
finally.
It's like so there already is a Black Widow superhero, but
and
you could be Brown Recluse,
right? And
like now your ring is infused with the power. What do they do? They kill, so you won't be able to climb.
No, so they stay closed, and then someone goes somewhere else, and then they catch COVID, and then there's been a possible COVID exposure, and then they have to quarantine again and close down. That's my fear.
So they will.
Listen, I'm wearing a face mask. Just throw it. Throw it from the window.
Maddie, you never disappoint. Thank you so much for being here on this episode.
Always.
You always deliver the goods. Thank you, Shelly, for the 5th and 6th breast.
Yes.
We appreciate it.
Love the twins. Happy birthday.
Hey, check this out. I got something exciting coming up here still, too. This episode of the Rob's Podcast with Maddie West is brought to you by Good & Consulting.
Oh, yeah.
If you're a tri-state business owner, especially lately, I'm sure you know how difficult it can be to keep everything going when your computers, networks, servers, and ITs aren't working properly.
Or if you have a brown recluse.
Or if you get an infestation of brown recluse. You know how hard it can be to keep your business open. I've heard of some businesses only being open for one day.
Literally
then having to shut down.
COVID's ruining everything.
Good & Consulting wants to take those stresses off of your plate and be your friend in the IT world. Good & Consulting oversees the IT for many businesses here in Evansville so that those companies don't have to worry about their networks failing, data breaches, computer viruses, secure backup, and much, much more. Good & Consulting offers 24/7 system monitoring, providing you the true peace of mind. It offers less downtime for you. They identify the problems before they even happen. They have fewer disruptions so that they can provide actually most services remotely and overnight, so it's not interrupting your workday.
Do they provide extermination?
I think they're working on that.
Not interested.
And predictable budgeting, as they will work with you to create a monthly flat rate for all-inclusive IT service that monitors all of your company's hardware and software.
Nice.
Even if you're working from home, Good Consulting can help keep your machines and information safe by establishing and maintaining reliable VPNs. Join the growing number of tri-state doctors' offices, dentist offices, law firms, realty groups,
All that.
and other local businesses that have let Good Consulting be their friend in the IT world. Call Cody at 812-402-0610 or visit goodandconsulting.com. Of course, if you would like to advertise on the Rob's Podcast with Maddie West, please email the Rob's Podcast at gmail.com. And
I'm going to start Vanna Whiting it.
do it. I'm sure people check it out. Just do it. Yeah, there you go. Cody said that any listener of this podcast,
Yes.
at least for like the first 10 or dozen or so.
Okay.
So if you just give us a call, 812-402-0610, $50 gift card for Good Consulting.
Nice.
So just call us in the next, we'll say week.
Yep.
You know,
And again, that number.
Please turn the numbers 812-402-0610. Yeah, if you want to just give us a shot, or if you're, if you've been thinking about needing someone for your IT
Yeah.
work, give them a call and they'll give you a $50 gift card.
And if you find a good exterminator, send to my jeweler's way.
What else do we need to, is it episode 4 in the books?
Episode 4 in the books. Thank you guys again so much for your continued reviews and support. It is overwhelming every single week how this is expanding and growing.
Yeah.
And I mean, the amount of DMs I get on Instagram, that's just like, you guys are awesome. Like,
It's been fantastic.
it's, yeah, like I said, like when you were talking about your friends in Montana, it's just like, I'm so not used to hearing it.
We were so used to hearing how much we sucked.
Yeah.
And we really appreciate all the
Appreciate
feedback.
it so much. Continue doing it. Continue downloading it, subscribing, liking, all that.
Yeah, share it, please. Let your friends
yeah.
know that Rob and Maddie are back and we've been unleashed.
Tell your mom.
My mom listens.
Let your mama know.
My mom understood 4 words on today's show. So that's good for her. So thank you
job,
for tuning
Nancy.
in, and we'll be back, of course, next week right here with the Rob's Podcast with Maddie West.
Bye.